Today I will be doing a video on Mare of Easttown, about a woman in a small town who is a detective and is still grieving the loss of her son. She works on a case involving a dead nude girl found in the woods. Episode 1 is just character introduction. We have Kate Winslet, who plays a detective dealing with a missing girl who's convinced they will never find her, and she gets flack for being cynical. We have a teen girl who is a single mother. Her dad is hinted at being abusive towards her, and her ex, who reluctantly helps take care of the baby as well, is awful towards her. She seems very sweet and innocent, but makes horrible choices, and doesn't seem very street smart. And I think a lot of that has to do with what seems like a poor upbringing. Some people just don't get a fair shake in life. We go back and forth between these two characters, and I'm wondering how they're going to be connected. The end of the episode is very unpredictable. I thought things were going to progress fast, but something else ends up happening. The episode is basically just a drama with a cliffhanger, and I'm instantly hooked. I thought Kate Winslet and Evan Peters were an odd romantic pairing, but the writing is so good it ends up working. I like the fact that we have an older woman with a younger man without it being weird, although he clearly likes her more than she likes him. And I know Evan Peters is not a spring chicken, but I can't help but think that he is too young to be a detective even though he's in his mid-30s, and his face has aged since being on American Horror Story. But I don't know, he just has a very youthful energy about him. While Kate Winslet is juggling a missing persons case and trying to solve another murder case, she also has to deal with the threat of losing her grandson to his ex-drug addicted mother. She's also still grieving her deceased son who committed suicide while being addicted to drugs. The show is very well paced. I love a good murder mystery. Oftentimes it can be way scarier than straight up horror. I think episode 5 was my favorite. It was everything I was hoping it would build up to. The suspense, the anxiety and excitement I felt when Evan and Kate confronted someone. Holy crap. Then I saw we still had 2 more episodes to go. So I figured by the end of this episode that we weren't quite done with the murder of this girl. Kate Winslet's lesbian daughter is the most useless person on the show. I do not care about the love triangle she is involved in. This added nothing to the show except maybe representation. To me, it was just filler. It didn't need to be there. If you're going to have representation, make one of the criminals gay. Or you can make the detectives gay. Someone who actually adds to the story instead of buffering up the runtime. The ending was disappointing, and finding out who the killer was felt anticlimactic. I respect where the story went, but I wanted a darker thriller like the first 5 episodes that packed a bigger punch. And this last one was disappointing because it felt more like a family drama. I respect it for being different, but I didn't like it. Honestly, I was no longer emotionally invested at all in the episode. In episode 7, I ended up checking out a long time ago, and it did take me 3 days to finish the last one. It felt like I was watching the character interactions that take place after the big finale. Like, imagine watching Breaking Bad, and instead of it ending with the camera panning away from Walter White's body, we instead get random interactions with characters talking and reacting to Walter's death and Jesse being on the run. At least that's how I felt. Sometimes a show just needs to end at a certain point in order for it to end on a high note. Maybe I would have cared more about finding out how these characters are doing if the killer reveal wasn't a letdown. Overall, I give this a 7 out of 10. I would recommend watching it because you might actually like it. It's an amazing show with a lackluster finish.